Broadcasting from the furnace layer of New Phyrexia, it's Tap Tap Concede. Hello.
Hello.
What up?
Yo.
It is warm in the furnace lair.
It is.
It is kind of toasty.
It's not that toasty. I'm wearing a scarf.
I know. I was just gonna say. I don't think you bring scarves to the,
To the furnace layer.
I would
of
bring a
furnace layer
scarf
of
to the furnace layer of New Phyrexia.
That's fair.
Even you are not that cold.
I don't know. I'd probably get there and I'd be like, you Phyrexians are not very good at this. This is at best a lukewarm layer. When I get down to the real hot layer. It's like
So-
three layers down.
Welcome, everybody, to our magic podcast.
Our first magic podcast.
Our first magic podcast, as it is called, Tap Tap Concede. Why is it called that? Here it is up on the monitor here. I want to talk about that briefly because we had a lot of ideas for what to call it, and especially during the live stream, there was a lot of really, really excellent suggestions as well. So it was very, very difficult to choose, but I we were discussing it yesterday. James basically threw up his hands and was like, "You know what? You have to make the animation tonight. Just decide.
Yep.
Just figure it out."
We had a lot of names at that point.
We did.
Some better than others.
Yeah. The main reasons for this, one, I could do an animation for it. Like, it's something that was easy to visualize. That was not the main reason. Two, a lot of the names that we had were very specific to different kinds of play. Like Watch the Clock was a name I quite liked, but that's only Magic Online. Granted, there is clocks when you play live tournaments, but it's mostly really critical in Magic Online.
Yeah.
There was Run 41, or there was another one that was specifically limited related, and we're not.
Yeah, 41 is my lucky number. It was a really, really good name for a podcast, but
No. That was the T-shirt idea.
Oh.
The Run 41 was one of the podcast ideas.
That's great for drafting.
Yeah, it's great for drafting, but not And then there was On the Stack. I quite liked.
I like that one. Yeah.
There is already a Magic podcast called
I kind of figured there would have
On
been.
the Stack. Well, actually, it's called Damage on the Stack.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Close
Too
enough.
close.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, there was a bunch of different ideas, and there was some really, really good ones, but ended up coming down on this because, to me, it's something that if you've ever watched us do our streams, that we will frequently do when we're in a situation where we're just completely ruined, we know we can't get out of it. Rather than just conceding, we'll pass the turn, let our opponent make the attack, then tap out all of our mana and concede.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because we're there to have fun. We're not like, all right, I'm dead, whatever, we'll move on. I consider that a thing that we do because we're here to have fun with the game, not because we're here to be really, 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 really serious about it. Also, yesterday we were playing against someone from the chat room in our Swiss, and they did that to us, and it was really funny. So
We're just
that
like,
a lot.
wait.
Yeah, they were like, what are they doing? And then as they keep tapping more and more land, you're like, what could this possibly? Oh, and then they concede.
It's if we ever want to make an iOS game, we have a name too.
Yeah,
True.
No
Tap,
kidding.
Tap, Concede.
Tap, tap, concede.
I like it.
I think that would get us sued a lot.
Quite possibly.
By Tapulous, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. So
No, by Disney.
Tap-
Disney bought Tapulous.
did they?
Yes.
I thought it
Oh,
was.
wow.
Isn't there also a development studio just called Tap Tap Tap?
Yes, those are the people who make Camera Plus. But Tapulous was bought by Disney, and the people who founded Tapulous went on to start an app cross-promotion service called Chart Boost. So we certainly
They're the
don't
ones
want
that
to get...
make Tap Tap Revenge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We
Anyway.
certainly don't want to get sued by
A
Disney.
lot of tapping. So what is this podcast going to be? What is it going to be about if it isn't about specifically Magic or specifically drafting or?
Well, it's specifically Magic.
Wait,
It is specifically
wait.
Magic.
Sorry, I meant Magic Online.
Cats?
No, it's
Can
not
we
about
have a
cats.
cat cast?
That could be our fourth podcast. Catcast.
So James, what is this podcast about?
It's about casual, fun magic. There is a lot of resources out there for you if you are looking to get much better at the game.
Well, there's some limited resources.
There is.
But
And yeah, so we've always had sort of, in terms of us playing the game for you guys. Like, I think when we play the game for ourselves, we generally play to win, and to get better at the game. But when we're streaming and we're doing our academy drafts, we're there more for the entertainment value than furthering your knowledge of the game. And I know people get knowledge from those things.
Yeah.
And I know people
Mostly
have
what
said,
not to do.
yeah, and I know people have been like, I've gotten better at the game because I watch you guys play, and that's awesome. But there's only so much that we're able to teach you while trying to be fun.
It would probably be actually irresponsible of us to advertise ourselves as a
Exactly.
as a learning resource.
Exactly, and that's sort of the mantra of this podcast as well, is to be entertaining and have fun with the game and talk about really whatever we. I mean,
It's about like playing Magic with your friends, right?
Yeah.
Not in a tournament, not in this like hardcore environment.
No,
but
we're not going to spend.
how Magic, in a lot of ways, I know almost how I feel the best way to play, which is with your friends and with crazy decks that are probably not, valid or not competitive.
Yeah.
But are just fun.
One of these episodes, we got to get Cam on here to talk about his commander deck.
Yeah, or decks that we've often done, like decks that you start with the name of the deck, like a fun pun for the name of the deck, and then try to build a deck around that name.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's what we hope to do, and we're gonna end up learning a lot ourselves as we discover new cards through various things that we do on the show, and we'll have a guest from time to time, I'm sure, and
Quite possibly.
looking forward to it. So hey, let's get right into this, shall we?
Sure.
All right. So we're borrowing an idea from some friends of ours, Marshall and John of the Limited Resources podcast. It's a hallmark of their show, I'd say. Every episode they do the Crack-a-Pack, and you'll hear the trademarks sound of the Crack-a-Pack. I think Marshall just fondles one of these in front of the microphone every single time.
It's possible, yeah.
Maybe they just have like the recorded sound of a pack being fondled.
I feel like maybe that's what he does.
Yeah.
He hits a button and then the sound comes on.
It's called packfondle.wav.
But what they do is they open a pack of whatever the current limited set is in. So currently, for the last couple months, they've been doing Return to Ravnica, but that sounds, in a couple weeks they'll be doing Gatecrash. But that's boring.
That sounds useful.
Yeah, that sounds useful. It sounds informative, and it sounds boring.
And it sounds like we do a worse job. So let's not do that.
I think at this point we could probably crack a pack of Return to Ravnica and correctly pick which card you should take first.
Yes, because we've been listening to what Marshall tells us to do.
But nobody cares anymore, so we're doing something different.
As you may have seen, if you're watching, you can tell from a distance this pack is not blue because it is not Return to Ravnica. We're going to be doing a different expansion every episode. Any old ones that we can get our hands on. We've got a couple here, sort of like laid away. Of the ones that we had, Paul suggested we start with Prophecy.
Ooh.
So we will be crack-a-packing Prophecy from what year?
I'm just going to look that up. This is
you can tell it's good because it still has the Magic Expert.
Yes, it still says it's an expert level.
This is from the year 2000.
Nice.
So,
a good year. A good vintage.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. These Magic cards are 13 years old.
In this strategy game, you play with decks of illustrated cards instead of a board. These collectible cards represent magical spells and fantastic creatures.
Unless you're super cool, you could play it. You could play it with
dibs
like a
on any
playmat.
pussycat cards.
All right.
I think every time we should demonstrate a different way to open a pack.
All right. So I just did.
He just ripped.
I just did.
Yeah, but I think next time we
could
could illustrate a different way to open the
Open
pack.
her up.
I
Now,
like that.
especially since this is 13 years ago, it's highly likely that we do not know any of these cards.
Nope.
But we'll be reading them out, and we'll try to get them up on the screen there. You'll want to close that Finder window over there as well. So, first one is an uncommon.
Is this before they had like?
Oh, I see. These are
The order is
ordered.
different.
The order is
Yeah,
different.
the order is different. Back
All right, so I'm
Is
gonna.
it an 8-card pack or is it 15?
No, this is 15, but it's sorted uncommons, rare, commons.
What?
So I'm gonna go from the back then. I'm gonna do the commons first. All right. Agent of Shauku. It is a 1/1 mercenary for 1 and a black, and for 1 and black, and sacrifice a land. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn.
Crap, rip it up.
That seems not good.
That seems terrible.
That seems. I would not want to sacrifice a land.
Moving on.
All
That's
right.
just
Yeah,
poopy.
That seems bad.
I don't like him.
Vintara elephant.
Ooh, I like it already. It's an elephant.
Yeah, elephants are good.
Whoa, it
Tally
looks
likes that.
badass.
It's really cool looking. It's
Oh,
a
man.
4/3 for 5. That's 4 and a green.
It's got like 4 tusks.
It's got trample, and for 3. Oh, interesting. But for 3 colorless, it loses trample until end of turn, but any player may pay that ability.
I think this was a cycle in Prophecy. I remember Mark Rosewater was on his Tumblr was talking about this. That they did a cycle of
Your opponents can pay for.
your opponents can, and he's saying that they didn't actually work very well because they basically were like cards with built-in counter spells on them,
Yeah.
and they weren't actually fun.
I get the idea is like a 4/3 trample for 5 is meant to be really good, and so then there's that downside. But
It's not even that good nowadays.
No, nowadays, of course, with the power creep, it's not actually good at all.
luckily, it looks totally badass.
Yep.
Spiketail Hatchling. It is a 1/1 flying drake for 1 and a blue. Sacrifice it to counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. So it's a 1/1 flyer for 2 that you can sacrifice for a force spike. Is that correct? Force spike? It's
Wait,
this.
I'll put it up
It's
on the
like
screen.
it's like the Judge's Familiar from Return to
Yeah,
Ravnica.
very much.
Yeah,
so,
actually, that is almost exactly the same as the
Well,
Judge's
except
the
the
Judge's
judge's
Familiar
familiar
casts
cast
for
for 1.
1.
Yes.
Yeah,
But it's 1 white. Or it's even better actually because it's one white or 1 blue.
Yeah.
but is the actual
It's not uncommon,
abilities
though.
exactly the same?
Yeah, sacrifice it to counter a spell unless its controller pays 1.
So is Judge's Familiar just a strictly better version of this thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an uncommon, but yeah.
This is an uncommon too, isn't
No,
it?
this is
No,
common.
this is a common. Currently, that is the leader.
It was reprinted in 10th edition as an uncommon.
Oh, I see. It was reprinted in 10th edition as an uncommon.
Interesting.
I guess people thought it was good.
Ristic Circle. It's an enchantment for 2 white for 1.
RH.
All
Wait,
right. RH.
Oh yeah, RHYST.
ST.
Yeah,
This is
Ristic Circle.
this is the one that Mark Rosewater was talking about.
So-
the cycle of Ristic things.
1 colorless. Any player may pay 1 colorless. If no one does, so you pay 1, and then any player may pay 1. If no one does, the next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage.
Wow.
What?
that
Wait, what?
sounds
Hold on.
So bad.
Circle protection was bad, and then this is like no, it was too
Circle
powerful.
protection that you have to work for.
This
Yeah.
casts for 4?
So it's like
It's circle protection that anybody else can prevent.
So it's like I pay 1. All right, I pay 1 to prevent this damage. All right, I pay 1. Okay, I pay another 1 to prevent it again. Okay, I pay another 1. It's like you have to fight back and forth to see if you're going to get the damage through.
Blech.
and even if you do succeed, it only prevents 1 damage.
Yeah, it's not like prevent all damage.
Oh no, is it?
No,
it is prevent.
It does prevent all.
Okay,
damage.
so that's better than a circle protection then.
Yeah. Even the flavor text, the circle buys time, an important commodity in battle. No, you don't want to buy time. That's why fog is bad.
I mean, this was printed before. Like, I don't know if EDH was a big deal when this was printed, but this was
No.
before
No.
Commander.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
far before Commander.
And so, I mean, these take on a whole other component when you're talking about like a big multiplayer game. Because then you could be like fighting against the guy, and then like some other dude pays the cost. And you're
Yeah.
like, what? I thought we had an alliance.
All right. Ooh, hey, a foil.
Ooh,
Just randomly in the middle of this.
wow.
A pygmy razorback. Also awesome art.
PY.
It is a 2/1 for 1 and a green with trample. That's it. It's a 2/1 trample for 2. It is a creature boar, and he's adorable.
2/1 trample for 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
He's
not
ado-
bad.
He's not adorable. He's a boar.
Now look at him. Look at the
Enormous
art up.
tusks.
Look at the art up close though. He's really cute.
No, he's not.
I think
He's
cute.
ugly and scary
Let me see,
and
let me
looks
see,
like
let
he
me
would
see.
eat you.
He's so small though.
He looks cute from here. From close up, his face looks like he's going to eat your face.
He's got like a wart. And
He's
some
like gnarly,
wrinkles.
like.
He's snaggletooth.
I guess he's
The
there.
fact
to
that it's foil is now the number 1 pick in this pack.
get, I guess he's there to get buffed.
I'm
That
laying
actually-
them out so then we can decide what
I-
our pick is.
I feel like foils from this era might actually be worth something.
Maybe. I don't know. This is when
Probably
they
not.
still had like the shing, like the
cool-
foily
yeah,
indicator.
the
Yeah,
star.
the premium one.
Because if
More-
you couldn't tell,
The
because
more
of the
you
fact
know,
that it was,
star.
it was shiny.
Okay, withdraw. It is a blue instant for blue. So it's for classic counterspell mana. Return target creature to its owner's hand, then return another target creature to its owner's hand unless its controller pays 1.
Oh, that's awesome.
I like
That's actually not a bad variation on that spell.
Yeah.
that. Yeah, because it's like you get You get one guy. I would include that in a limited deck, and if they're tapped out, you get another guy.
Yeah, so it's one more than an unsummon.
Mm-hmm.
But you could get 2 if you play.
And
that
so then
well.
they tap out to bring out their big huge beater, and you're like, huh, that's funny, unsummon.
Yeah, and also random value, unsummon another guy.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that card.
Oh, guess what?
What?
There's a cat.
Yay!
I wasn't expecting there to actually be a cat. The Glittering Lynx.
Sounds lame.
Actually, he looks pretty sweet. It's a 1/1 for 1.
No, that's Glittering Lion.
Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Glittering Lynx. For 2, until end of turn, it loses the prevent all damage ability, and any player may pay this ability. This is that,
oh my god, these are
weird
terrible.
cycle.
These are so
Here.
bad.
Look at how cool.
Yeah,
he
we were
looks.
getting like there must be a lot of those kind of
Yeah,
cards
because
in
we
this
already got
set.
3 and we're 7 cards in.
Yeah.
All right.
4 actually.
Are we 4 in now?
Well, oh no, sorry. That's
No,
the withdraw is like a force spike kind of thing.
yeah.
And again, like I feel like if these, like if you were like for instance drafting Prophecy, like if everybody was playing stuff from this set, you imagine like how complicated it would get when there's like 4 or 5 of these guys on
my
the
God.
battlefield,
No
and like
kidding.
anybody could pay any of the costs.
Calming Verse. For 3 and a green, sorcery. Destroy all enchantments you don't control. Then, if you control an untapped land, destroy all enchantments you control.
Ooh.
Wait. What?
So it encourages you to tap out.
So you destroy all enchantments
Wait.
that aren't yours.
This is pre Mana Burn. No, this must be while Mana Burn was still in
Yes,
play.
it would have been.
Because otherwise you can just tap.
You could just tap your mana.
You can just tap out no matter what. Yeah. That's interesting.
You could tap all your mana in response to the spell on the stack.
Well,
This is actually a really good card to have in like a Pauper Cube, I think.
yeah. I mean, if in a format where there's lots of enchantments, it seems
What's
like
the-
a pretty good one.
What's
Well,
the
like
oracle
cube,
text
right?
say? Is it the same?
The chattering forest fell silent as the otherworldly song began, according to Gatherer.
No, the
No, that's a
the
full
Oracle
text.
text. Yeah,
mean, like
it's
the
the same.
updated
It's the
wording.
same.
Oh,
No,
okay.
there is no oracle text.
Weird.
Mm.
That
So
seems-
this, but like that second part is completely pointless now.
Yeah.
Like
Nice
there's no
art.
way that'll ever fire
is
unless
nice.
for some reason you want to destroy your enchantments.
It's a Rebecca Guay piece. Isn't it? We got a Rebecca Guay, Matt Cavata, Greg Staples.
It's like
Good artists.
it's like baseball cards.
Yeah.
I'll trade you a Rebecca Guay for a rookie card.
For
I've
what-
always liked Rebecca
What about a
Gray's art,
Paulo
though.
Parente?
A what?
Keldon Berserker. 2/3 for 3 and a red. It's our
I'd
first
like it better
red
if it was a
card.
Keldon Meowzerker.
Keldon Meowzerker.
Can I imagine it's a kitty?
Whenever this is another if you control no untapped lands. Whenever he attacks, if you control no untapped lands, he gets +3/+0 until end of turn.
Huh.
Now, that's good.
I like that.
So then now he's just always a 5/3.
yeah. So you tap. You
I mean,
cast your stuff pre-combat,
and then you tap
and then
out.
you
I
attack,
mean,
and
that-
then he's a 5.
Of course, then on the other hand, that means you won't be able to cast anything during
combat.
and
yeah.
also during the other guy's turn. Like you
Because it's whenever he attacks, so it checks. It's not something you can do in combat by just tapping out. It only
Yeah, it
checks,
checks
when he attacks.
so that means you
sequence.
can't do any combat tricks.
Yeah,
And it means you can't do any instants during his turn either, and you can't do anything during your second main. So that's actually not
that's
good.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
it's
that-
weird.
That's interesting though, because that could be actually. I could see that actually as being like something that could come back. Like that's actually an interesting trade-off. I like
And,
that.
and it's interesting in a set like this where you would have been tapping out extra mana to pay for stuff like making your opponent's enchantments not go and stuff like that.
Is our first pick at this point the unsummon?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I
Oh,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
absolutely.
yeah. It might be this guy though, Diving Griffin. He is a 2/2 flying griffin with
Cat Griffin.
for 1 white with vigilance, or as it was known at the time, attacking does not cause Diving Griffin to tap.
Well, which version did you? Oh, you.
Or is this it's fun?
It took up the 8th
Oh, it's
edition.
the little crystals.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, get some,
Same picture.
Yeah, but
Black border. And it's got the
It looks terrible with the white border.
so 2/2
yeah, the Oracle
flying
text is a lot shorter.
2/2 flying vigilance for 3 seems great, especially in draft of this era.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a draft bomb.
It
To
kind of
outrace
is.
the Griffin.
Means to do the impossible. I
Yeah,
like that
I like
a lot.
that.
Plague Fiend. It is a 1/1 insect for 1 and a black. Whenever Plague Fiend deals combat damage to a creature, destroy that creature unless its controller pays 2. So it's got conditional death touch.
That's not bad.
No, it's not. That's all right.
But he's a 1/1, so he's probably going to trade off immediately.
Yeah.
And then they're not going to pay 2, right?
Yeah.
And like a 1/1 for 2, or a 1/1 for 2 with death touch, I'm pretty sure has been printed. Like that's a.
We just actually in Innistrad block had a 1/1 for 1 with death touch.
Yeah.
With
Right.
the
rat, wasn't it?
not plague rats.
No, it's
Help.
crap. It's a rat of some sort.
Oh, that's so
So far we're first pick that Griffin.
Do you know what
I don't
that
even-
rat is? Is it a rat or is it called like something?
I
No,
think
it
it
was
was a
a rat.
No, I know.
Typhoid rat.
Typhoid rats. Thank you. I know it was a rat. I was curious if it actually had rat in the name.
All right.
So yeah, like typhoid rat seems a lot better because it's 1 less and it just straight up has the death touch.
There's no
Yeah. So that's strictly better.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we're on to our uncommons now.
And also rat is like a relevant creature type.
Mm-hmm. Mana Vapors. Sorcery for 1 and a blue. Lands target player controls don't untap during his or her next untap step.
Oh, that's good.
I like that.
Ooh. And that's also, I mean,
And
that,
it's only for 2, so it's not like it's taking your whole turn either.
Yeah.
That's
not bad.
they still got a combat step in there, but that's practically a time walk because they're not going to be developing their board or casting spells.
Yeah,
and then
that's great.
and then they also in this set where the number of untapped lands you have is actually relevant.
Mm-hmm.
That could be significant too.
Snag.
Wait, give me the thing.
Which? Oh, there. Snag. Instant for 3 and a green. You may discard a forest from your hand instead of paying Snag's mana cost. So even if you're tapped out, you can cast it. Fog. No, I'm sorry. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt by unblocked creatures this turn.
That's even worse.
Well, it could be. It's different.
Yeah. So you can.
That's actually work because then you can make any favorable blocks you want,
Yeah.
and then just let everybody else through.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
That's bad.
that's not bad.
actually.
Yeah.
That's the same with.
And if you want to just use it as a fog, then you just don't block anybody.
because you can do that with, and I messed this up once in RTR draft.
I mean, it costs 4, which is
or
expensive.
discard a forest, which
Yeah.
maybe you don't care about. Druid's Deliverance is prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you this turn. So they attack with guys. You can make favorable blocks, let some guys through, and then Druid's Deliverance, and the blocks that you want to happen will happen, and anyone who doesn't get blocked won't hurt you.
I mean, that's basically the same as this one.
It's the same effect, but then Druid's Deliverance also populates.
Right. So that's, and it costs less.
Yeah, because
I mean, it's not strictly better
I-
because there's the discard thing.
I
but-
blew myself out with this in a draft because I misread it, and I
Mhm.
thought it was just I thought it was actually a fog because people call it Fogulate, right? And they're like, oh, it's the fog that populates, yay! But no, because fog
not
is
quite, yeah.
fog is all combat damage, and this is only damage that would be dealt to you,
Yeah.
which is very different.
but probably better.
Probably.
Yeah, and like I think that is definitely better.
Last uncommon, Chimeric Idol, who looks awesome again. It's a 3-drop artifact, and for 0, tap all lands you control.
Nope. One more down.
It becomes a 3/3 artifact creature.
Ah. No.
Oops.
Just the worst.
It becomes a 3/3 artifact creature until end of turn. For tapping all the lands you control.
Sorry, let's see this.
But it costs 0 to tap all lands.
Yeah, I
you
was just
control,
gonna
so
say.
yes,
This
that's
looks
such a weird way of wording that.
Like if your lands are already tapped, then no big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's true.
you
That's true. You can do it for free if your lands are already.
if
That's
you're tapped out.
the number of untapped lands matters. Concept is actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
And again, and that's relevant to the like other people pay things to stop your stuff from doing things, because if they tapped out for something like this, then they can't pay to have your dude lose trample or whatever.
Our rare also has that weird your opponent may pay thing. Is the Shrouded Serpent. It is a 4/4 that casts for 4 blue, blue, blue. Whenever it attacks, the defending player may pay 4. If they don't, it's unblockable. It's
4/4
It's
like
basically a 4/4 unblockable.
a
because
4/4 unblockable for 8
for 7.
for 7. A 4/4 unblockable
For 7 is a good deal.
for
Well, I mean, that's kind of what you're going to get in blue, right?
it's gonna a 4/4 unblockable for 7
Actually,
is
that's
marginal.
absolutely not what you're going to get in blue, because the
No, thank
Gaslorg
you.
of the Fugue
Yeah.
is like, I think he's also a 4/4 unblockable and he's like, I think he casts for 4 blue or black.
That's the guy from Shadowmoor.
Yeah.
Also, he has an incredibly relevant
GH,
ability.
Ghast Lord.
He has a incredibly relevant and horrifying ability. No, he casts for 5. That's even better. 4 unblockable for 5.
I mean, it's all.
So that's easier to cast.
Well,
if you're in a 2-color
if you're in blue black, it's easier to cast.
That's true. You can't use like mana rocks to cast that stuff.
Yeah, that guy is like absolutely 100% legitimate in every way, shape, or form.
He's whenever he deals combat damage, there's
a big unblockable blue Leviathan too. That's
kind of the Stormtide Leviathan.
Stormtide that has Island Walk.
Yeah,
but it
turns
everything
walk,
but it makes everything into an island. So yeah.
All right.
So okay. So we gotta pick something here.
I think the Griffin is still probably the best.
It's the Griffin or one of those 2 blue cards.
Yeah.
No, I think it's the blue card. The bounce.
Yeah, withdraw. I think.
Double bounce.
I'm taking withdraw.
If withdraw's not here in this pack, I'm gonna take Mana Vapors. I think because I like that card.
What's that one do again?
That's the one that they can't untap their land.
Oh right. It's so the problem there is that like I don't know if I like that one as much. I don't know.
I think that's good.
Because if they don't tap out, then it's kind of just a dead card.
True, but this as we've seen, this set has any number of ways to make them tap.
Yeah,
this is weird. I've never looked into prophecy at all.
No.
So it's like these are.
Yeah, I mean,
I suppose this doesn't tap their
cards.
lands. It just means they don't untap.
Yeah.
If it was tap and then stay tap, that card would be insane.
A lot more expensive.
It's also a sorcery.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to cast this on their turn. No, I mean, personally, I'm taking the withdraw. I think.
Yeah, me too.
Is my card there?
That's super good too. Like it's nice and it's double blue, but if they've just tapped out to play a fatty on like turn 4 or 5, that could be a huge tempo blowout.
Yeah.
I want to see the art from Chimeric Idol fight the art from Vintara Elephant. I want to see those creatures.
I just want to see Vintara Elephant on something else.
Yeah.
On a good creature.
I wonder if the Chimeric Idol is in Jer's ridiculous commander deck. Jer has a commander deck with Daochan Artful Beauty as the commander that gets basically every time she taps, 2 creatures get destroyed, but one of them could be yours. So all the creatures in his deck, apart from Daochan, who he protects with Lightning Greaves,
oh my god,
Shrouder Hexproof
are artifacts that turn into creatures.
Oh, I see.
So they aren't relevant targets.
Oh my god.
What?
I just know something about this expansion here.
What's that?
Okay. Red has its own little like.
Talking to the mic.
Red has its own little texture behind the text of the card, right?
This is just like the old card designs.
Blue has some kind of like cloudy.
Yeah.
It's different texture. White is like clearly like crappy stone.
Yeah.
Black is like some sort of scroll or something. Artifacts are clearly like something shimmery.
Yeah.
Green, that's like literally wood. There's little lines in it to make it look like planks of wood. I just noticed that.
Oh,
I don't look at old cards that often.
Yeah, it's not from this expansion. That's just how all the old cards used to look. Yeah.
I wonder if the Tally's got this elephant in her. She was bringing that elephant deck for a while.
Oh yeah, good point. Well, there we go.
Probably.
There's our first crack-a-pack.
There's our crack-a-pack of
Prophecy.
15 additional cards.
There's probably a reason why Prophecy is not very popular.
Oh wow, the premium card odds are approximately 1 in 100 cards.
To get a foil?
We did pretty well.
Hooray! How much is a pygmy razorback and foil worth?
I don't know.
Not much.
We can look that up later. All right. Well, there's a crack-a-pack. Before we move on to our main topic today, which, by the way, I guess we should have said at the beginning, we're going to be talking about some Gatecrash stuff. We're going to look at the upcoming cards from Gatecrash and talk about cards that we've seen that we like, or the guilds, or what we're going to be doing at the pre-release, or whatever. I have Magic trivia.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna
for us.
Yeah.
Well, for James, because I've already told you guys.
Told them what?
I told them.
He tested the trivia out
I
on
asked this
us.
question.
Okay.
So this is.
I
this
advised that it was too difficult.
This
by
is
the
Graham
way.
asks James magic trivia.
All right.
All right.
And the idea is.
Wait, do you get a theme song for that? Graham asks James magic trivia. It's real hard and kind of unfair.
You can take the Ventara elephant off the thing now. Well, I mean, the idea is maybe James doesn't know, and it's likely James won't necessarily know the answers to these, but then we all get to learn something. So, all right, I'm gonna read you a list of 8 creatures,
Okay.
and I want you to tell me which of these is not a magic card.
Okay. Wait,
All right.
which of, like, as in there's more than one?
No.
One of these is not
these
a mag-
8 is not
a magic card. Okay.
All right. Riftwing Cloudskate,
Uh-huh.
Plaxcaster Frogling,
Sure.
Pardic Firecat, Deepwood Wolverine, Ravaging Riftworm, Baneful Woodfink, Trapjaw Kelpie, or Gravelgill Axe Shark.
Well, I know that one is.
My favorite creature name of all time, Gravelgill Axe Shark.
May I look at them, or do you have it in such a way that I can see what the
Nope,
answer is?
I do not.
All right.
So, Riftwing Cloudskate.
Plaxcaster Frogling.
Yeah.
How do you spell axe shark?
Just look for Gravelgill.
Gravel. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Fire Cat.
The Pardic Firecat?
Pardic Fire Cat.
All right. Well,
I'm guessing that's a no.
so interestingly, both Paul and Kathleen made the same guess as one another, which was the Deepwood Wolverine.
That totally sounds like a magic card.
Deepwood Wolverine, totally a magic card.
I'm not aware that Wolverine is a.
Just go for
Search Deepwood.
Deepwood.
I'm not aware of Wolverine as a relevant creature type.
Yeah, because
Very-
Wolverine sounds too
Whoa.
normal. Wow.
He's super
I haven't
badass.
actually seen the art. That's amazing. What does he do? 1/1 for 1, and then he's what?
Whenever it becomes blocked, it gets +2/+0 until
Because
the
he's
end of turn.
angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And James's guess
Wolverines.
was Pardic Firecat, which is a magic card.
Damn.
Meow, meow, meow. I know all the cat cards.
Pardic, there it is. Pardic Firecat.
From when? Oh, Odyssey.
Oh.
Lame.
I was just looking for the amusing.
So which
amusing
one
names.
isn't?
So the one that I made up is Baneful Woodfink.
That was my second guess. Damn it. Should have gone with that.
The thing is, that sounds like it could be
It's
from
still-
Shadowmoor.
Yeah, it does, right?
And Graham's like, yeah, that was the point.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna go for like Shadowmoor has the really that's where Gravelgill Axe Shark came from, and there's like
Yeah, that one's
Slippery
sweet.
Boggle and Noggle Bridgebreaker and stuff like that.
Yep.
Just a sec. Did you see this Pardic Firecat?
No,
If Pardic Firecat is in the graveyard, effects from spells named Flame Burst count it as a card named Flame Burst.
oh, neat. Because Flame Burst checks how many Flame Bursts are in your bin.
It's so weird.
So you could run 4 Flame Bursts and 4 Pardic Firecats.
Wow,
That is
that's
weird.
really That's really interesting.
Yeah, that is a weird
That is
card.
an odd mechanic.
Anyway,
All right. Okay.
And then so yeah, I wanted to do this. I was like, man, there's some goofy names. And then I think it was the Riftwing Cloudskate. I was like falling asleep one night watching someone, I think it was LSV, do like a cube video, and I was like, Riftwing Cloudskate. Because like we have skates.
Yep.
That's a thing. Like they're like related to rays, and like that's a real thing. But that's all just made up. It sounds really cool though. And I was trying to think of like all the weird,
just like little add modifier words to real things.
yeah, and all the and so I tried to get all the names that were like something 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 something. And this was really cemented when we were looking for possible podcast names. And I looked for every magic card that had cast in the name.
right.
Right,
yeah,
because there is a magic podcast called The Thoughtcast, which is a good name for one. And I was looking for one, and that's one of the names that we threw around briefly was the Grizzled Outcast.
I still like that.
And the Plaxcaster Frogling.
Plaxcaster Frogling showed up in that list. I was like, what is that? It is a Simic card from Original Ravnica, actually.
That
I
makes
do not
sense.
remember what it does, but I believe Paul is on the job.
What was the original Simic mechanic?
Graft.
It was bad.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's a 0/0. That's why. He's a 0/0 with Graft 3.
Yeah.
So he's really just a 3/3 for 3.
but
And then he does stuff.
yeah, he can move, or you can. I guess he's not that bad actually. Graft is a weird mechanic though. Anyway,
So, all right.
So that was Magic Trivia. Next
Look
time
in the past.
next time I will ask you a trivia question.
Oh no! All right.
I liked it.
Ooh, James
be
asked Graham.
it-
Magic trivia. It's probably not as unfair as what Graham asked James.
But probably will be.
He came close.
There was 8, right?
Yeah.
So it was like what?
You said it was your second guess.
It was my
maybe you're full of crap, but who? I don't know.
It
Who
was
knows?
definitely on my like when I heard them. It was those 2 that clicked because I don't know, like the other ones, like the axe shark. I was like, hooray! I can safely cross one of those off my list.
And you knew about the Riftwing Cloudscape.
Yes, I
too.
knew this got Cloudscape
I want-
as well. So
they should just do a cycle of axe animals,
oh my god, they
Oh,
should.
man.
axe bear.
Axe Bear.
All right, Watsy
Axe
staff,
cat.
we know you're listening.
An axe
I
cat.
love the Shamble Shark, by the way, from Gatecrash.
The like shark crab.
shark crab.
Oh,
or
so
actually, technically incorrect because it is labeled as creature type fish crab, and sharks are not fish. They are sharks. They are their own special thing. So that actually leads neatly into talking about.
oh wait, before we
talking
move
about
on to that,
Gatecrash. What?
Paul and I looked up how much a foil pygmy, whatever the heck that is.
I will guess.
Pygmy razorback.
I will
Pygmy
guess how much
razorback
this is
is
worth.
worth.
50
Okay.
cents.
Boop boop.
69 cents.
Boom.
Big money, big money, big money.
Woo! This booster only cost us like $9.
Oh my god.
What?
I assume there's some chase stuff in there.
There must be.
I can't remember.
I don't know
what's
what.
in prophecy.
Certainly not this serpent.
No.
No,
How much was the withdrawal worth?
nothing.
No.
That's a good card. I like it. I guess it's a good like popper cube.
It's a
card.
fine card, but it's not.
It's not
like,
gonna be the sort of
unsummoned's
card
better.
that- yeah.
It's
Might actually be in my
also
cube.
still
I
a
don't
common.
know. I gotta check. Anyways,
So Gatecrash.
That's
is
the thing that's coming out.
That's the new expansion coming out soon.
Hooray!
Very excited.
Hooray! Hooray!
We were at our local game store buying these boosters, and we signed up for the pre-release. They didn't need to know right away, so we didn't have to decide, which is good. But do we have any idea what we're playing in the
Orzhov.
pre-release? You're playing Orzhov?
that's my guild, so
Right.
I'll be playing Orzhov.
Okay, my guild is Demir,
Straight up.
but the Demir cards don't look as good as the Simic cards or the Boros cards, and I like winning. Like, let's be honest here.
There's pretty
think-
cool Demir
I
cards.
think- I think pretending to be another guild is very Demir in itself. Secretly, I will be bringing glory to the Demir.
The
It's very.
just a sec. I'm just going to look up the. We're going to talk about the pre-release promo cards. The Demir pre-release promo actually seems super awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We'll pull him up in a moment. He is the Consuming Aberration. And these aren't in Gatherer yet, so Paul has to take a sec longer to do the searching. The Consuming Aberration is casts for 3 blue black, and he is a star. His power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your opponent's graveyards. Whenever you cast a spell, each opponent reveals cards from the top of their deck until they reveal a land card, and then put all those cards into the graveyard. That guy seems pretty powerful.
He'll be extremely powerful when he goes into my blue-black commander deck.
Which that was going to be the Demir keyword ability.
Really?
It's going to be called Grind,
Yeah.
Oh.
and that was going to be. Cause you'll see
Is
that.
this something Rosewater talked about
Yeah.
on his Tumblr, or?
Yeah.
So why did they?
Or no, I think he actually talked about it on
It was,
Daily
an,
MTG.
it was an article.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh,
cool.
I should read that. I haven't read it yet.
But the
Why'd they switch from grind to the
Cipher.
cipher?
well, it's the problem is they found that Grind didn't interact with the other guild abilities very well.
Or at all.
Yeah,
It's-
and
it's-
also there's like the what do you, the one that need like if you're grinding somebody, you're actually going to be helping the green black guys.
Oh, the Golgari, yeah.
Yeah, the Golgari, right?
Right.
Because they want stuff in their graveyard
Right.
Well, I mean, to an extent.
to a large extent. I mean, they're very much graveyard matters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. And they decided they liked the Cipher
The
stuff
Cipher.
better. But you'll see this exact wording when you cast a spell reveal until
On
you
a couple
get your line
cards?
card. You'll see that appear on a couple different cards, which is the whatever the last dregs of that ability. So they kept it around because they liked it.
I was wondering if Dimir would have mill, because it seems like
That's sort of
that's
their
sort of
deal.
the underhanded way to win a game is you don't interact with them, you just make them lose, right?
Yeah.
Like it's very like, wait, what just happened?
You
didn't
don't
attack me.
You don't make yourself win. You put them in a position to lose.
Exactly. That's very in flavor, right?
I like that.
That was,
that
was my assumption.
I think it was also that there just wasn't enough design space for that ability. Like,
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you can't put that on every
whereas
card.
the Cypher has got so many weird interactions that you can do. I mean, it seems like Cypher is like the most wide open.
My
ability.
issue with, I guess, with some of the Dimir is because they kind of have two things going on with their cards. Especially if there's that vampire that's basically a double-edged bob. It seems like that would actually be bad in a Dimir deck.
Double-edged Bob is
Okay.
a cover band name for something.
For original Bob.
Yeah.
For, what's that vampire's name? Actually,
What?
Like, what is that guy actually called?
Oh, he's not a vampire. He's
He's a vampire wizard.
the Dark Confidant?
No.
No, the new one.
Well, it's the seer. It's right there, left-hand side.
Best Mantle Seer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's a 4-drop. That's fine. 4/4 flying for 4 is really
That's
good.
great. Pardon me. That's
My
great.
issue is if you're running him in a Dimir deck, the top card of his or her library loses life equal to that card's CMC, puts it into your hand. Great. Problem is, because of Cypher, all the Dimir cards are very expensive because they have to be costed in accordance to the sort of relative power of being able to reuse their spells. And I'm not sure how well he actually goes in a straight Dimir deck.
I mean, there aren't that many Cypher cards necessarily, though.
No, but
But if you get him down on turn 4, then you're winning that race probably because you're also hitting with a 4/4 flyer every turn.
Theoretically.
Theoretically.
The other people are drawing cards too, though.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
right?
But they're also getting hurt for it.
My
Yeah.
concern is but if you're going against like a Simic deck where they seem to have like most of their creatures start out weak but get stronger, so they have a lower casting cost. Like I definitely think that using that card against a low curve deck is a very, very poor choice.
I would splash him in an Orzhov deck with Extort
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
too.
because then you can gain some life. In fact, James, the Treasury Thrall is the preview card that you'll be playing with if you're going Orzhov.
Hell yeah, I am. He's pretty cool. Like, I really like the mechanic. Like, Extort seems extremely cool.
It's so in flavor.
And yeah, super in flavor. So what does this guy do exactly again? It's whenever
Oh, weird.
Wait,
he's
I'll get a better
tiny.
picture.
Hang on, we'll find him on this page. We have multiple sources for our... There he is. Doink.
There it is.
Yay. So it's whenever he attacks.
You may return an artifact, creature, or enchantment from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to get through. He just has to attack. That's very good.
I like
And in
his,
the meantime, he's a 4/4 for 6 with the Extort.
I like historically thralls have been very small too. Have been like fairly small dudes.
Yeah.
So I like that this is like this big like overdeveloped thrall.
To carry
Roid
around their
thrall.
coffers.
Usually
thrall.
they've been like sacrifice things to do stuff too. So this is kind of cool.
So here's something that I misinterpreted when the Extort cards first got announced, which maybe some people listening also may have misinterpreted. So I'll let you know about it. You can only pay once per permanent with Extort.
Correct.
Because the wording, because I thought that it was like I have one guy with Extort and I cast a spell and I have 3 open mana, so I'll just 1, 2, 3 off of this one guy with Extort. But the wording is such that it's whenever you cast a spell, you may pay 1. If you do, each opponent loses life and you may gain 1 life.
Yeah.
And the whenever you cast a spell trigger is only happening once. And you only get an opportunity to pay 1. It's not whenever you cast a spell, you may pay X, only use black or white to pay X, and then it's X life. It's just for each spell and each permanent with Extort, you get 1. But if you've got 2 permanents with Extort and you cast a spell, then you can do it twice.
Yes.
You know what? If you are confused about how Extort works, the Limited Resource podcast, the one that just went up, has Judge
Oh,
Joe Bono on it.
I need to listen
and
to
that's
that.
the Rules podcast
Rules
for
podcast.
Gatecrash.
So another misconception with Extort I saw that when it came out, which is also obviously not the case, and I thought was interesting, and makes it way worse if it was actually true, was the Extort cost is actually something you pay on top of the casting cost, and you get the Extort bonus if you do so, and then you're just done.
It doesn't just like look for
No.
those mana symbols in the casting costs.
No, well, they like people were thinking, so when I cast this, I can pay an extra white or black to drain life, and then I'm just done. They didn't realize it was because it's whenever you cast any spell. People were reading it as whenever you cast this spell.
Oh no, this is better.
Yeah, no, absolutely it is.
Oh,
But I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
it was hilarious because a lot of people read it that way and were, up in arms on, well, not up in arms on Twitter, but talking about it, being like, "This isn't that good." And then people were like, "Have you read it properly? Because
you're confused.
this is pretty good." And they're like, "Oh, it's whenever you cast any spell."
Yeah.
Sheesh.
That's why
That's
the
good.
that's why the bear is the syndic of tithes.
Yeah,
is
there's
so
a couple
great because
amazing.
he's a 2-drop and he just sits there and lets
Well,
you
there's a
do extra
couple
stuff.
fantastic.
So that guy's great. The
Like, go to the
I really like Blind Obedience as well.
Oh, Blind Obedience is insane.
That's the 2-mana enchantment that just all your guys come in tapped. So
Oh, I know.
sucks to you if you have haste.
See,
Yeah.
You know what the problem
And
for me
the board sweeper.
Is there a
The problem for me in Gatecrash is that when RTR came out, the only sort of color combo I have really ever played much with in those guilds was the black-red. So I was like, all right, fine, Rakdos, Windmill Slam. That's easy decision for me to make, right? I didn't want to play any of the other guilds.
yeah?
I have played Boros decks, I've played Orzhov decks, I've played lots of Dimir decks. I don't know how to choose. They're like my
Originally-
horrible children.
Like originally, like with RTR, I was Selesnya easy, no question. And originally I was going to be like, well, I'm Selesnya now, and then I'll be Boros when Gatecrash comes out. And Boros still looks really cool, but I'm really enjoying Simic. I like the cards I've seen from it at least. Like it seems cool.
It's ever since Duels of the Planeswalkers 2012, I think, that was basically like the first time I'd ever actually played a Simic deck, it wasn't explicitly Simic, but a green-blue deck. I forget what the name of the person's deck is, but
Kiora?
yeah, Kiora's deck. And that deck is just so much fun because it's the like big creatures that come from green, mana ramp comes from green, but then instead of running out of gas, you also get card draw, which comes from blue.
Yeah, that's what I think is so
you're
cool
like,
about it.
It's like if you need cards, you use the blue stuff. If you need mana, you use the green stuff, and then it just ramps up into these disgusting creatures. And then you can then clone your creatures or write a replication your creatures.
So I'm considering
it's
going
definitely
with
fun.
Simic. The promo card that comes with Simic is the Fathom Mage. If you want to pull that one up. So this is really cool because this was the same for Return to Ravnica, but normally at pre-releases you get a promo. Everyone gets a promo card for going, and it's like a little bonus thing, but you don't actually get to use it in your deck. But for Ravnica and Gatecrash, they did it such that you get your guild thing, you get your special card, and you do get to use that card in your deck, which I think is really cool. So the Fathom Mage
is so good.
So she's a 1/1 for 4, which is pretty bad on the surface of it, but she has Evolve, which is the Simic mechanic, which is anytime you place that you play another creature that has either greater power or greater toughness, you put a +1/+1 counter on that card, which is neat. But then with the Fathom Mage, anytime a +1/+1 counter is placed upon her, you may draw a card. So what I want to do in Dragon's Maze, when you get to draft all 3 of these together, is splash Fathom Mage in a Golgari deck and scavenge onto the Fathom Mage.
Well, because I mean,
Living the
strictly
dream.
speaking, it seems like with Evolve and at least the way Simic currently is, like you're probably not going to get more than 3 cards off of that. Like once she gets up to 4/4, it's going to be hard to actually get her up.
It's still
any
drawing
higher.
3 cards though. It's
But
really
that's
awesome.
That's very good.
super decent.
Also-
For playing creatures you're going to be playing anyway.
Also, screw Dragon Maze, play Standard and Flashback Increasing Savagery. I will draw 10 cards. Thank you very much.
Well, heck, I mean, even travel prep is still in standard, right?
Yep, that's true. Anything that just gives +1/+1 counters with a whole bunch of evolve stuff just seems kind of fun and wonky.
Delightful.
What's the? Oh, of course, there's our preview card, Herbalurtion.
No, not herbal bourboning. We get urban evolution.
Urban evolution, which I kept calling urban exploration because of the explore thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were talking about this. Actually, brief aside, just because I talked about this a bit on my Twitter, and I know that I talked with Paul about it in person, but I found this very, very funny. MTG Salvation posts all the spoilers. They're one of many places that post all the spoilers, and they're quick. Yep. And so when we did our preview for this card, they immediately had a thread up with a picture of the card and a link to the video and people discussing it. Because the picture of the card was already in the thread, no one actually went to watch the video, because the people in MTG Salvation are serious Magic players. They want to get right to the discussion.
Why do we even bother?
And so in the video, if you've seen it, we do the thing where it's like divination and explore on one card, and I even say in the video it literally is like that, because they're both sorceries. Explore is 1 and a green, divination is 2 and a blue,
yep.
And urban evolution is 3 blue green. So it's exactly the same casting cost for exactly the same effect. But here's the thing: everyone is in your head. We were talking about this on the stream last night. Is that you have sort of your brain moves into shorthand when you're so used to seeing the cards, and you see a card and you don't read it, you just see it and you know what it does.
Mm-hmm.
And with Explore, the relevant part of it, generally the most relevant part, is that you get to play an additional land. It's the green ramping part. You get to play an additional land that turn. And everyone remembered that you got to play an additional land off Explore, but they forgot you also draw a card, which is why we said divination and Explore, because 2 of the cards come from divination and 1 comes from Explore, for a total of the 3 cards from urban evolution. Mm-hmm. And so everyone in this thread is trying to do all these weird mental gymnastics to figure out.
It's like these 2, if one was a sorcery and one there, or it's like half this card plus this card.
It's like concentrate, but instead the second blue is a green, and then you get to play an additional land. Or it's like this card, but it's like this card and this, but you draw an additional card, but it's for 1 less than that. And I just wanted to post and be like, guys, we did this math.
Yep.
It's in the video. And there was even people in the thread being like, no, it can't be Explore, because divination and Explore is only 2 cards. It's like, none of you remember that Explore also draws a card. And then eventually it got to the point where then even the people posting in that thread realized it was so ridiculous that they were like, no, guys, it's like, what was it? Someone said, it's like Ancestral Recall, and you get to play an extra land, but it's also for 3 colorless and a green more expensive. It's great. Or
and you don't get to take the extra turn.
Yeah, they were just like making up ridiculous combinations of what you did to get to urban evolution.
Speaking of cards with combinations, the Boros card that you get for signing up for that guild has 2 activated abilities. What is the card, Graham?
As the Foundry Champion. He's a 4/4 for 6. He's actually the same. He's practically the same power, toughness, and casting cost as the Treasury Thrall, because they're both 4/4 for 6. When this guy lands, he deals damage to target creature. Oh, creature or player. I thought it was just player. That's kind of cool. Equal to the number of creatures you control, and he has fire breathing and
butt fire breathing.
I was about to say butt breathing.
Butt breathing.
He breathes fire out of his mouth and his butt.
I actually like
is
to
there
think
a term
that
for that? Because the
toughness boosting is just
actually.
Yeah. Could we popularize butt breathing?
Butt breathing.
Because it makes his butt bigger.
The Tower Drake has butt breathing too.
Yeah, lots of things do.
Yeah.
And it's always in white. So yeah.
It's not a very
butt breathing.
I guess it's because it's not a very popular ability. No one really cares about it.
Is there something better we can think of for than that with the white though? Because breathing is like fire. Yeah.
Butt covered. Is there?
I'm just trying to think of other than breathing.
Well, what is there? I mean, fire breathing comes from fire breathing. Like,
well,
is there
the enchantment fire breathing?
Is there a card that just does the +1/+0?
White,
I don't know.
Plains,
I'm gonna look for
plains, wheat. Wheat makes you fat. white.
So wheat
germ.
Wheat
germ.
eating.
What if what if you have a gluten intolerance?
Well, then it makes you gassy too.
I think butt breathing.
Yeah, butt breathing's probably the best because.
All right.
Anyways, so
I'm gonna
he's
look
not
up
bad,
any card that does
because he
this.
comes with a thing, but he doesn't have like trample or evade. He's not bad. But wait, what one do you get for signing up for Gruel? Graham had them up on his iPad, and now
Oh, I'm sorry. Rubble Hulk, who's kind of dope.
Rubble. I like the. Here we go, Rubble Hulk.
So the mechanic with these guys is Blood Rush, which is cool. I really like it personally.
I like it too.
Not so much on this guy. I like the lower casting or the lower costing Blood Rush guys. So this guy is he's a what is he?
He is this guy is a star for 6. And his power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control.
Right. So theoretically, he's coming down as a 6/6.
or maybe a 5/5 if you have a key rune.
Yeah.
And then for 3, for 1 and a red and a green, you can discard him, and attacking creature gets +X/+X, or X is the number of lands you
Which will
control.
probably be like minimum of 3/3.
Yeah.
So that's a good. That's actually a good Blood Rush. That's actually a better Blood Rush than you normally get. Like, that's quite a bit cheaper than the actual casting cost of the creature.
Yeah. So now the only thing with Blood Rush is it's attacking creature, correct?
Yes.
So you can't use Blood Rush defensively.
Right.
No, I get the feeling that Gruel is very much like Rakdos.
Yeah,
in that
it's definitely
you
just
are
like smash.
You are attacking as much as possible, and if you're in a position where you're not attacking, things are not actually going very well for you.
Yeah, exactly. But a couple, like, what are some of the other? What's that crazy good uncommon?
The Burning Tree Emissary.
There's a
That
crazy.
She comes out for free.
Oh, that one's pretty cool.
There's a
but
crazy
it's,
good common.
so
Actually,
good.
the Shatterhorn is a common with Blood Rush that I love. He's a 3/2 for 3.
Yeah.
But you can discard him as a giant growth practically. Like it's 1 green and discard him for +3/+2.
+3/+2. Yeah.
And so you get 1 less toughness than a giant growth.
But he's not a giant growth because he's only for attacking creatures. So you can't use him to save anything.
Yeah,
true.
I know.
Yeah.
So
He's still very good.
The power,
Like-
the power is relevant. What I like is that he can be close to a giant growth or a creature, depending on what you need at the time.
He's very flexible, which is nice.
Yeah,
But-
if you're looking at a board and being like, I have a couple mid-sized creatures and he's got bigger creatures, there's no reason to play this guy because he's never going to attack and I'm not going to want to block with him. So I can use him instead to let my guy trade with one of his big guys. And then you're in a better situation.
So I've noticed something.
One sec.
I just think when Dragon's Maze comes out, some very interesting black, red, green combo stuff. You start discarding your guys for Blood Rush, and then start bringing him back with the graveyard management stuff, and that could be very nasty.
What I think is really interesting is if you look at the art so far. I mean, obviously not all the cards have been spoiled for the Gruel. It seems to be like big hulky things like Cyclopses and stuff, and incredibly hot chicks. Like Rubble Belt Raiders has a really pretty girl on it, as does Burning Tree Emissary, and everything else is just like some sort of
horrible
beast.
monster beast.
Yes.
I know that they were trying to.
I'd like to think that they got inspiration just by going to like their local university and looking at the people like in the Environmental Action Club.
Well, I know that they said this at the PAX panel. They were trying to make sure that they actually included like some women in Ravnica, because they were talking specifically about the Izzet, how last time around the Izzet was like all just old white bearded men.
Yeah, that's right.
And they were like, why not young Izzet? Like the Nivix Guildmage, he looks awesome. The Staticaster, she looks sweet.
Yeah, like I like the argument that like if you're really that it's actually somewhat unlikely you'd get to be an old member of the Izzet Guild.
Yeah.
Izzet is kind of the neckbeard club, probably. Yeah.
So just a brief aside before we get back to Gatecrash.
I don't know. Judging by the design of the cards, I think if I was a young Ravnican looking to join a guild to date, I would definitely be joining the Izzet Guild.
Yeah. So I looked this up, and if you're listening, you probably already have looked it up. But for those who haven't had the opportunity to, I looked up if there is a fire breathing equivalent for 1 white gives you +0/+1 until end of turn. Because the reason that is called fire breathing is because of the original creature enchantment called fire breathing, which all it did was give your creature the ability of, for 1 red, give it +1/+0 until end of turn. I think Paul's about to bring that up. And so, it's looking for, is there a go for like, there you go. Yeah.
That's the
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's why
He's had too
He's
much
like-
hot pepper.
He's like got this weird like point.
Yeah.
He's like, like that's not like fire breathing. That's like get me some milk.
So that's why that ability on any creature is now called fire breathing. So I looked up paying 1 white to give a creature +1/+0 until end of turn. Sorry, +0/+1 until end of turn. A lot of creatures have that.
Yes.
Only 2 enchantments have it, and they both do other stuff as well.
Damn.
So now
Because that would be a really lame enchantment.
So the original one is called Holy Armor,
Right.
which is target creature gets +0/+2, and for 1 white, target creature Holy Armor enchants gets
Oh yeah.
+0/+1 until end of turn.
I totally had this card in my in my sweet white protection deck.
And the only other
when I was a
one
kid.
is Armor of Faith, which is enchanted creature gets +1/+1, and for 1 white, enchanted creature gets
I would say
+0/+1
Holy
until end of
Armor
turn.
is closer to.
So they're
the-
both. It's both armor. So you could say fire breathing and and armor and butt armor, but I feel
butt armor could be good.
Butt armor's not bad, actually.
Yeah. So fire
It's
breathing.
probably better than butt breathing.
I kind of like butt breathing, to be perfectly honest. But
the alliterative appeal.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's a bunch of creatures through the history of Magic that have had that, like Avon Flock, Beacon Hawk, a lot of birds.
This Armor of Faith
Capuchin
is
Templar.
kind of weird and creepy.
Yeah, she's got like a big
It's like-
hand around her.
It's like, could you protect me while not feeling me up?
Yeah, that
maybe?
hand is totally on her nips. It's
Yeah.
totally an armor
It's
of
like
faith.
no, sorry, that's not.
It's a faith that you'll not be pressing charges for aggravated sexual assault by the looks of that art. Anyhow.
yeah.
And I think the last bonus card we have to talk about is the Demir one.
No, we started talking about the Demir one.
We've done all 5.
No, the
Yep.
bonus card.
Yeah, that was the consuming aberration.
We didn't talk about that. We talked about the vampire wizard.
Oh no, it's the first thing we talked about was the consuming aberration.
Yeah, the
We did,
4.
yep.
Yeah.
With the grind.
Oh yeah, derp.
Yeah.
All right.
Where were you?
What's
I don't know.
so?
Yeah,
Hopefully-
did we say which?
Okay, so
You're
I'm playing
Orzhov.
Orzhov.
let me
Did
see those
you-
cards again.
Did you come down on a final?
It's so hard. They're like, oh, I love all of them.
Like I like Orzhov too. I mean, Gruul. I hear the call of the Gruul clans because Red and Green was like what I played originally.
Yeah.
Way back in like the 6th grade.
Okay, I'm probably not gonna play Simic because I'm not much of a green player. So that rules out Gruul and Simic. I will probably play around with them later. But
I know you can do some Boros damage.
I love all 3.
I don't know. Maybe you should just follow your heart, your cold black heart, and stick with Demir.
I probably will.
What's the guild leader do? Lasov? He's insane, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's unblockable, which makes sense.
And he just copies the last guy who died.
Crazy.
You're over him.
Yeah.
We're just over him.
Left there.
Yeah, he is. Whenever a creature card is put into an opponent's graveyard, Lazav Demir Mastermind becomes a copy of that. I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time reading it from the screen.
He anytime a creature dies, you can have him become a copy of that creature, except it also has hexproof.
Yeah,
And
And it has that ability, of course.
he's not unblockable. He's hexproof.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's still Lazav Demir Mastermind.
So someone's like, I bring out a giant titan. And you're like, I will copy that titan, except mine is hexproof.
Well, it's got to go to the bin first.
Yeah, you got to kill it. But,
Yeah. Actually, briefly,
but Demir's got a few ways to kill things.
speaking of hexproof, can we talk about my favorite flavor win recently, which is the glaring spotlight. It was just spoiled the other day. It's the anti-hexproof card, and it's creatures. It's basically your opponent's creatures lose hexproof. I mean, really, it's the creatures your opponents control that if they have hexproof can be targeted as if they did not have hexproof. But what I love about it is the second ability, which is that you sacrifice it, and until end of turn, your creatures have hexproof and are unblockable because you've blinded them with the spotlight and then smashed it. So it's dark, and they're like, I can't see. All I can see is purple spots. What's going on? And meanwhile, your guys are just like running past them. I love it.
Flavor-wise, that card's awesome.
My favorite flavor,
Oh yes,
Murder Investigation,
yes.
which
Yes.
I'm calling. What's all this then?
Yeah.
Hello. Murder Investigation. Whenever it's enchant your creature, if that creature dies, you get X 1/1 soldier tokens, where X is its power. So it's the bigger the creature, the more guys have to come to investigate, which makes sense.
I love it. I love Murder Investigation so much.
So it's
I'm gonna say that every time I cast. What's all this then?
yeah. Whenever it activates.
It's whenever it dies.
whenever
it dies and the soldiers come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I love that so much.
All
I'm
right.
trying to remember.
So did you have one more thing on your little list?
Was it talk about cats?
I don't believe it was.
I don't think so. No. Oh yes, right. It was the
Nobody listens to any of my ideas for the Magic podcast.
it was the fine loading ready run tradition. I mean, this feels like it's sort of similar to the Crack-a-Pack, but it's the loading ready run tradition of is it playable, is it not?
Wait. 1, 2, 3. Is it playable? Is it not?
Let's ask Jer and Alex. Like that's where that started.
All right.
Oh no, they're not here. Let's hit
ask-
random cards.
So it's basically we pull up a random card on Gatherer and just marvel at
Go
it.
for it.
What do we got?
Boom.
What is that? It's a Drake?
He is a Vigilant Drake for 3/3 flying for 5. And for 2 and a blue, you can untap him.
That's not that vigilant.
He's not. Yeah, he's
not vigilant
Sort of
at all.
marginally vigilant.
Yeah.
He's conditionally vigilant.
So
Yeah.
a 3/3 flyer for 5. Not the worst.
No, it's not amazing.
He's
But
from,
yeah, it's not that good.
He's from the Beatdown box set.
Oh, he's from 7th edition. Oh no, he's from 7th and Urza's. What now? Which one's the hammer?
Urga's Legacy.
Right.
Legacy.
Urga's Legacy.
Urga's like Urga was a terrible wizard.
He's caveman wizard. Urga. Me invent club that smash face. Is it magic? No.
No. Yeah.
He was good at face smashing, but not very good at magic.
Me invent club and stick and rock.
Yeah.
What happens if I get all 3 on the battlefield at once? Nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
Urga, not very good
Alright.
wizard.
So that's kind of boring.
I would
That's marginally playable.
That's
the
the card.
That's
I would say in a pinch that card's playable.
that's the Urgatron, by the way. Is
Yeah.
the
yeah, like
club, a stick, and a rock.
I think you wouldn't first pick it, but I think
Oh,
if
God,
that
no.
ended up in your pool, you would probably play it.
Yeah, you'd probably play
You
it.
might. I mean,
Like in limited, I think you would.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I mean, I was gonna say I've played 3/3 flyers
yeah.
for 6, but they're like the Spirius Skywatch and
I mean,
the Zenicav Locust and stuff.
Fairy Invaders had Flash, but they were 3/3 for 5, and Flash is better than conditional vigilance. But
Well, it's untap him,
yeah,
so that could actually have implications other than vigilance.
mm-hmm.
If he tries to tap down your guy, you just go,
He's a-
haha,
he's-
fooled you.
he's a
untap."
combo with help me out here, Heavy Arbalist.
Yeah, there's a couple. I'm sure there's some enchantments that could make him
Yeah,
that
it's,
could
I
make
mean,
kind of marginal combos.
really, Horseshoe Crab is the better one for that because he's just 1 blue to untap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the Heavy Arbalist I think is the equipment tap to do.
Is it
4
Hedron
damage?
Crab tap to mill your opponent by 3 cards?
No, it's Landfall is the
Yeah.
Hedron Crab.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
right.
I love the art on Hedron Crab. He's got the little Eldrazi Hedron. He's like, how do I get into it? How do I get the nougat out of this? It's mine. It is mine.
Oh, I love that card. Also,
Anyway.
if you're playing Zendikar Pack Wars, Hedron Crab is basically win condition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you have so much more land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he comes
all right.
out early.
All right.
So
So
we're just doing that one random card.
Yes,
right?
yes.
All right.
so yeah, that was our first Tap Tap Concede.
If you have any questions or feedback,
Yeah, we didn't do any questions this time because it was our first one, and we know that you have had Magic questions, but we just wanted to talk for the first one.
Yeah. If you have like nitty gritty rules questions, we're probably not the
Don't
people to
ask
ask.
that.
There's actually a great thread on the Loading Ready Run forums about
Just form like the last time.
that some great questions are being answered by people who actually know what they're talking about.
Yes, the Ask a Judge thread in the Games and Gaming forum is fantastic.
Yeah, but
I
maybe
frequently read it.
maybe not that, but
direct
I guess.
those kind of questions. If you have any pictures of cats you'd like to send in,
But if you have any questions about casual Magic, what would be a good name for a deck? I guess.
oh yeah, we will
What
name
would-
your deck.
What would
We'll
be funnier?
Actually, yeah.
Stuff like that. Anything like that. I guess
I'm
we could
gonna
add
have-
some-
I'm promising a new segment next month called Name That Deck, where you tell us what kind of deck it is and what kind of spells are in it, and we'll come up with a name for it.
I am totally doing card nicknames next time, by the way, because I love card nicknames so much. So yeah, if you have any thing you want us to address or whatever, the thread for this video on the Loading Ready Run forums is the place to post them. If you leave a comment on the YouTube video, cool, that's awesome. But we're gonna go to the forum thread for questions to address in the next episode.
Yep.
Just so you know. So yeah.
Thanks
And-
for joining us, everybody.
And if you're interested in Loading Ready Run's Magic content,
Oh yes.
be sure to check out the 2 weekly drafts
Well,
Yeah.
one weekly draft, one
or 1 bi-weekly.
fortnightly draft.
Fortnightly. Yeah, we do the fortnightly recorded ones for mggoacademy.com, and we do a weekly live stream, which you can get involved in the chat room on
Twitch.tv/LoadingReadyRun on
Thank you.
Thursday nights.
and you can always find out any information about any of those with our Magic-centric Twitter account, which is at LRRMTG. Yeah, in fact, we actually recorded a draft video last night I'm going to put up later today. So
Indeed.
And that's why. And if you watch those, you will find out why we are talking about casual Magic.
Yes.
Hey, Grave and I did really well last night. We made it to the finals.
yes.
And then you lost because you
Maybe.
said, and then you made it to the
No.
finals.
We don't want to spoil the result, actually.
Yes, thank you.
Because last time someone was like, "Oh, I wish I could have seen your deck do better," and then someone else in the comments was like, "Well, now I know how it ends." So we made it to the finals, and you'll have to watch.
I did
Also-
say we
find
did
out.
really well, right?
Also,
Who knows?
if you're about to watch a video, don't read the comments before you
Yeah,
watch
that
the
seems
video.
very silly.
Sometimes you can't help it, though, right?
Of
Sometimes
course.
it's like the first comment.
But you can't like the comments are for talking about what happened in the video. I think it's okay
Depending
to spoil
on your
it.
resolution, though, like the top comment may be like right there below the video, and you can't help but see it.
You watch it full screen.
Well,
You have to get to the full screen button first.
we hope you guys enjoyed this. Please let us know what you thought, and we'll be
Send
back next
pictures
time.
of cats.
Our next podcast
Stuffy cats.
is a thing.
Like our next.
The,
We don't
those
actually
games
know
we
what our
played.
next
No,
podcast.
next podcast is those games.
I thought the first. Oh, okay. All right. Our next podcast is those games we played.
Or maybe it is. Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
no, it is.
No,
you're
the
right.
next podcast is the Cat Cast.
Sure.
That's going to just be Kathleen sitting here by herself talking about cats.
Sweet.
So look forward to that.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for listening to Tap Tap Concede.